Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and once again it's time for current events in the online fitness community. And today I haven't looked into anything. I thought I would try to do one of these about once a week. So instead, I've had a lot of people ask me, what supplements do I take? And normally I'm not really big on supplements. I don't believe in most people needing to take a lot of supplements. I think 95% of the supplements on the market, other than for mostly health purposes, which is a lot of what I take, are pretty much useless, right? They're pretty much useless, can be largely filled in with real foods, okay? So I am generally known as anti-supplement, but I would say probably at this point in my training, again, you guys see me squatting mid 500s, deadlifting over 600, deficit deadlifting over 600, all that stuff up in my 40s. There are a few things that I use here and there trying to get a very small advantage. And I am going to tell you guys straight up, supplements are probably not going to make a noticeable difference. Okay, I want to make that very clear when I state this before you start shelling out your hard-earned money. Supplements are not going to make a noticeable difference. If they do, it's placebo, it's all in your head. Or they got spiked with something. So a lot of what I take is there for health management, just keeping my health on point, injury prevention, stuff like that. Better sleep. Okay, not that specialist stuff. So I guess I should cover some of that. And right up front, speaking of just again nutrition and everything, this one I don't know that we'd call it a supplement. I count it as a supplement. I have cold milled flax seeds. Yes, you store these in the freezer. Brand I'm using is called Premium Gold. Actually, very good company. Very good company, good reputation. I'm actually somewhat familiar with them even before I bought this product, but I get this here at Costco. It's just milled flaxseed. Why? Because I don't always want to take fish oil. I don't always believe that fish oil is always ideal. There could be issues with mercury, going rancid quickly, everything else. I don't like the fish burps. We could argue that the ALA doesn't convert efficiently to EPA and DHA in humans very well. We can make a lot of points about that, but mainly I'm just trying to avoid omega-3 deficiency, because at this point I'm eating a lot of carbs. I'm eating mostly carbs. My dietary fat's pretty low. That's probably another video. I've shifted my diet again over the last year. There's a reason I'm able to handle the big workloads I'm handling. I don't eat what I think is going to be an enjoyable diet per se. I'm not overly concerned with a lot of that. I'm concerned with performing optimally at this point. And I accept those trade-offs. I love high-fat diets. Like for me, like feeling good and just satiation, I like high-fat diets. So I like keto diets and stuff, but that's not what I'm doing these days. And it was a gradual shift over. But because of the lower fat intake and almost all of my fats coming from like oats or chicken breast and things like that, I'm getting very little fat in my diet. It's just again an insurance policy. Plus, it's got extra fiber and stuff, great for digestive health, your GI tract, because of the nature of the flax seeds, the milled ones, and they do need to be milled. You can't digest whole flax seeds. So that's right up front. Number two up here, most important supplement to me, melatonin. I take 10 milligrams of these. I take a 10 milligram non-time release melatonin. There's plenty of research on this, like for people who say things like, well, could a person become dependent on it? No, it's been studied. It's been studied at very high doses, much higher than 10 milligrams. People don't develop a dependency on it. Other than the vivid dreams, there's no side effects. The dreams are very vivid. I'm going to tell you right now, if you take a 10 milligram one of these, you're going to have intense dreams. But that's to be expected. That's a noted side effect in the research. I definitely experience it every day. If I wake up in the middle of the night to pee, sometimes I'll pop a second one of these. But I go to bed really early. I get up really early. A lot of you have figured that out. They're like, wait, how early are you up? I'm up sometimes as early as 3 or 4 a.m. starting my workday. I go to bed super early. I'm an early person. Like I'm filming this video right now at 4 in the morning, just to give you guys an idea. But I love melatonin, probably the most anabolic, non-drug substance you can get over the counter without a prescription. Period, flat out. This stuff is awesome. This is what I would consider to be, for a hard training lifter, a mandatory supplement. One of the very few. And that would probably surprise people because like it's a sleep aid. Doesn't help. Exactly. Sleep is everything. Something new I've added in, collagen peptides. I have been extremely critical of these. I've been extremely critical of these, and I'm not buying some YouTuber's stupid ass brand. I looked at the price, looked at the research. Someone I know, actually a guy named Alex Leaf, convinced me that and showed me enough data to say that there could be some actual measurable connective tissue benefits for strength athletes with this. I do very much concern myself with injuries. I'm worried about things like another bicep tear, which happened to me in 2004. I think about stuff like this. It's cheap. It's not that expensive. Am I saying that you should run out and buy this? No, probably not. I'm chasing a small advantage. I'm at a point where I'm chasing elite numbers in my 40s, especially on lifts like deadlifts. My deadlift is technically elite right now. That's not even in question, by the way. But I think about injuries. Okay, I think about connective tissue. I spend so much effort in terms of training for connective tissue and to build connective tissue strength and all the really high rep band work and other stuff that I have to look at something like this and say, okay, is there substantial data to suggest this may help? Yes. Is it cheap? Is it cost effective? Because I don't like to throw away money. That's my biggest problem with supplements. People spending $200 a month on supplements that don't do crap. Okay, I don't like to waste money. People say, you got all that rogue equipment though. Yeah, but that's an investment. Those are not just consumable things that disappear. Those are long-term assets. So that's a little bit different. And they don't depreciate in value. But collagen peptides, I pay like $27 a month. Well, it's technically 41 doses. If I take one every day, it's 41 days for $27. That's not terrible. That's not a big deal. Like that's not significant. Now, I wouldn't be paying $60 for a tub of this stuff with a small promise. No, probably not. But at that price, I get it through Amazon Prime. Not a big deal. What else do we have? Creatine monohydrate. I buy the cheap stuff. Costs me $20 a year. That's a $20 1 kilo bag of creatine. It's only creatine monohydrate. Proprietary blends are stupid. Needing to add carbs are stupid. If you look at the research, the reason so many proprietary blends and new creatines have come out is because creatine is so cheap to manufacture that you can just buy it bulk for pennies, and it works. One of the few supplements that works. I am a non-responder from everything that I can tell. I don't see performance changes on creatine at all, ever. Ever. But if we come back over to that point of, is it a small potential 0.5% advantage over the course of a year that I might get as a serious lifter and a serious athlete, pushing the limits? Yes, maybe so. There's good data showing that it helps with Alzheimer's and cognition. My grandfather suffered from Alzheimer's. There's decent research on that, in addition to the research on strength training and Alzheimer's. Okay, I think about things like that. Potential cognitive benefits in the long term. For $20 a year, okay, I'll eat that. Right? Not a big deal. Not a big deal. Next one I take, magnesium citrate. Now, do I really need this? Maybe not. One of the most common deficiencies out there for lifters. Why do I take it? Well, because when I started taking it when I was doing keto diets, and I've just stuck with it. It's like I just buy the 1 kilo bags. I take some of it. I keep up with it. A lot of times I take it post-workout when I mix my creatine and other stuff up and take. So why? Just to avoid magnesium deficiency. Potentially, maybe, but probably not. Better sleep. Also, I think about the magnesium intake in my diet and bone health. I want to make sure that I get always very significant amounts of calcium and magnesium. Again, I am lifting very, very heavy weights. My training is geared towards increased bone density. Bone health is critical for strength athletes, and it's actually something we should all be thinking about. This is purely an insurance policy for me, because what are our bones made out of? What do we get our bone mineral density from? Calcium and magnesium. I always consume dairy. My diet is always high dairy. I'm not worried about calcium. I do occasionally worry about magnesium, although I probably don't need to. But again, $20 a year. Potential minor sleep aid to help with the magnesium. Potential bone health benefits, so I go ahead and take it. It's not particularly expensive. It's not really a big deal to me. It's just an insurance policy, because again, what am I doing? I'm chasing big numbers, chasing bigger numbers, guys, and I'm concerned with long-term health, bone health, injury, tendon health, all these things. Same reason I take the collagen peptides. You probably won't benefit from this. get your training on point. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. I take it as an insurance policy, and it's cost effective. And last but not least, well, really the least, my protein powder. I use Optimal Nutrition cookies and cream. I don't take this every day. This is just if I don't feel like getting some older sort of protein. I don't feel like cooking some chicken. I need to hit my protein numbers, and my protein numbers aren't really that high compared to a lot of bodybuilders and other people. Or if Greek yogurt is usually what I do a lot of for just a filler. I've been doing a lot of the 000 lately with the extra fiber because, again, I want a lot of fiber in my diet. Digestive health, gut health, appetite control. But a lot of times I will take this if I've had a particularly grueling workout. I'm feeling very fatigued. I will sometimes dish up a couple scoops of this post-workout if I'm really feeling beat up at the end of a training session. And that's going to happen, I don't know, maybe once a week, maybe once every 2 weeks. It might happen twice in a week to where I feel just way more fatigued than normal at the end of a workout, concerned a little bit about recovery. I will sometimes mix this up with my creatine and other stuff, and I'll take up to 50 grams of this post-workout on those days. Do I do it regularly? No, because my protein needs are being met. So for me, it's just a supplemental protein source that I use sporadically throughout the week. It's not really a mainstay or essential. It's just a convenience. I pick Optimal Nutrition for reasons we've covered before. It's one of the few brands that years and years ago made it through Consumer Reports testing. Most of the major brands failed. Most major brands of protein are garbage. They have a consistent record of doing well with Consumer Reports when they lab test what's in there in terms of contaminants and stuff. It's purely a health issue for me. It costs a little more, but they're actually relatively cheap still. They're still a semi-budget brand of protein. I mean, all things considered, they're a mid-range cost protein. They're not cheap. They're not ultra expensive, especially if you buy bulk. It's in that mid-range range. But it always passed quality standards, right? And the cookies and cream taste pretty good, so that's what I get. And I think that pretty much covers everything important that we need to know about here, right? I don't think I missed anything. All right, guys, well, that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time.